Louis, thank you very much for your time. Welcome to Jazzahead 2025, to our Stingray Jazz booth. A pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Talk to us about yesterday.
Yeah, so yesterday was a big show because, well, it was the grand opening. So the artistic director, asked me to create something with guests, not only with my band, but I had to invite different people. So he wanted me to invite a lot of people, and I chose two friends of mine, Gabi Hartmann, a French singer, and Celia Kameni, another French singer. And those two amazing musicians I didn't know, Marta Mancia, a great flute player, and Yelfris Valdez. Yelfris Valdez, wonderful trumpet player from Cuba, living in Mallorca. So it was a huge program, and we played for 1 hour and a half. It was nice in the Congress Centrum. Beautiful night.
So you had a good night. That's a great start of your Jazzahead adventure. So how did you prepare for the grand opening?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to be careful that everybody is well represented. That each of the musicians has their spot. So their solo or their intro, or So I had to think of a cool set list where I have my place, and well, everybody has their own, and well, it was really quick because we couldn't rehearse, so the rehearsal was the sound check, and the sound check lasted 1 hour, so we had
Right.
Yeah, it was quite quick. So it was nice. I'd rather not rehearse than rehearse. So
Well, it makes it more lively, of course.
yeah, exactly.
if
It
you
makes
just
it more
perform
organic, and yeah.
So
full of
that's a good thing.
surprises.
And talking about where you are as an artist at this very moment, how does performing, having the chance to perform in a showcase during Jazzahead 2025, how does that align with your artistic goals at the moment?
Well, actually, it's great, because I feel surrounded by so many great other artists, and I think the main thing for me, what makes me happy right now, other than being represented by my country or I don't know what, it's just feeling surrounded by so many great person and people, and being connected. For example, with Marta from Madrid, with Yelfris, it was beautiful encounters, and so this is nice because I'm seeing all this
Yeah.
this thing for the jazz music, and I'm just saying to myself, okay, jazz is a real thing. It's
Yeah.
really happening, not only in my country and in France or in Switzerland, but and on other parts of the planet. It's really lovely.
Absolutely. Wanted to talk about your album,
Yes.
Small Variations.
Mhm.
Small variations from the previous day.
Yes.
That is steeped into a term that I personally love, like in Portuguese, saudade.
Yeah.
Which is it's a Portuguese for ache for something lost or missing something. I feel saudade. How do you translate such an intimate longing into melodies that make the crowds react or maybe dance?
Well, it's you mean how do I create like this? How do I
How do you
transfer this
transl-
Saudade feeling into the music?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. I've always been kind of nostalgic in my, I don't know, in my body. I think I've always liked old stuff, old movies, old music, old black and white movies. I don't know. I have something with looking in the back, and it's not always good, but I think it helps me to avoid this craziness that we are living today with everything that's going on to the planet. And as well, my father is from Honduras, and I feel really, really connected to this country, to this culture, even though I've never been there. It's really strange. Well, my family moved to Costa Rica a few years ago. So, 20 years ago. So I had the chance to go a lot there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have something with this culture that I don't really know, and it makes me joyful and sad at the same time, because it's such like a country that went through so many bad things throughout the 20th century and
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is my answer to your question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you studied under Wolfgang.
Yes.
So balancing European precision with the fire of which is Latin American music.
Yes.
What can you think of a few rules that he gave to you that during the process of making your music you just absolutely threw that away?
Well, so you're a big fan of Wolfgang, I guess.
Oh, we know everything. So
Yeah, Wolfgang. It was really funny because I studied like for 1 year with Wolfgang and with Lionel Loueke. So I had both this kind of two amazing musicians that play completely differently, and they had different directions, like different advices. For example, Muspil, Wolfgang, he was more like into composing a lot of music. He was pushing me to compose music and to bring my compositions to the lesson and that we can study it together. And he was really precise and it was all about the sound and the timing and it was really about details. Sharing stuff with Lionel in the moment. And Muspil was more about like concepts and really think of what you're doing, why you're doing it, where does it come from, where do you want to bring the music, those kind of things.
Yeah. And so now at Jazzahead 2025, you're part of the Reconnect showcases linking Switzerland, France, and Spain. How do you see the Swiss Latin identity being represented on what European jazz means? Is there a place for such a take?
Yeah, I think, well, what I like at this moment, not only jazz music, but in general, we can see that with Bad Bunny and all the mainstream artists, Like, I think Latin America has a huge role to play in music. And those cultures are really well represented in the music industry now, and I'm really, really glad of it. I'm really happy about that, and I think there is a trend, but it's not only a trend; it's more than that. It's like it's really a beautiful message, and well, it fits wonderfully into jazz music because jazz is about like inclusion and exchanges and everything and pluriculturality. So for me, it makes a lot of sense. And playing this music, it helps me a lot, like a therapy to understand who I am and what my culture is, because I was growing up like not knowing if I was Swiss guy, because my mother is from Germany as well, so German guy or a Honduran guy. And with jazz, everything helped me understand more those kind of things.
So you're also playing with your large ensemble, variable geometry. You step back as the leader of the large ensemble. How do you decide who takes lead during your showcases?
Well, it's because I don't like to have this role. For me, it's more like about it's about serving the music and sometimes the other musicians serve better the music than myself, and I like to be like really kind of collective instead of more like I take all the solos and it bores the people. So I decide when the music needs it. Like if the music needs a solo of saxophone, then I call the sax player.
Yeah, so it's more invested in writing the whole thing instead of just being in the forefront for you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, amazing. So, critics, they do call your music euphoric and bittersweet. Is that tension? Would you name that tension your superpower? And what memories does that tension inspires you?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Again, so critics, they call your music euphoric and bittersweet.
Yeah.
Is that tension, that juxtaposition, if you will, is that your superpower? Is that a thing that comes often in your music or not? And if it does, what memories does that inspires you?
Well, yeah, no, I think it's a good terms of, because I know the guy who wrote these two adjectives about my music, and I think it's really that. I mean, it's bittersweet. Is always like there is a taste of nostalgic feeling. So yeah, that's it. I think it defines well, and my music is a way of putting all the, I don't know, sad emotions into something more joyful sometimes.
Yeah.
So listening to your music, we noticed that there's also a good use of using silence during the music.
Okay.
What is the thing with using silence during the shows or during your music?
Well, I think silence is part of the music, right? We enjoy more the noise if there. I mean, the music when there is silence, and we enjoy more silence when there is music and noise. So I think it's really important to bring a balance and play with the contrast, to have silence, and yeah, I think you have to be conscious that it exists and that you can play with
What do
it.
you see in the audience when there is a very, very silent moment? Do people get tense? Do people start applauding?
Yeah, it's a really interesting moment actually, because yeah, it's so. Well, I don't know if you guys are musicians, but I think
Yes.
you are. Yeah. So yeah, it's weird to be on stage because you can, like, you get the attention of 100 people, and you can do anything you want. And sometimes I just wonder, what if I do that now? You know, I tell this story, or I'm acting like a weirdo, or I just don't say anything. I mean, it's funny, but when there is silence, just like my goal is not to make people uncomfortable, so I try to, I don't know, I'm trying to act so they can feel, well. I don't know.
Yeah. So, moving back again on the theme of Saudade, you do mix that idea with pop sensibilities, right? So, how do you keep, those pop songs fresh? And what, maybe, like a side note question, is there a pop star that secretly inspires you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I listen more pop stars than jazz, man.
Yeah.
For sure, man. Uh, in this moment, I like a lot Brazilian music, so I just recently bought a CD of vinyl of Fafá de Belém. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Fafá de Belém.
Fafá de
yeah,
Belém,
yeah.
wonderful artist. Yeah, I mean, I love Djavan, I love Caetano Veloso, Milton Nascimento, Gal Costa.
Like the
I mean,
classics.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like what Brazilian music does to the music, Like you got rhythm, you got harmony, you got melody, you got dance, you got everything. Like it's my favorite music of the world, Brazilian music.
Yeah.
So when playing with artists like Yelfis Valdez, Marta Mansilla, in the collaborations, so what did you learn about Swiss jazz when you play with, let's say, Afro-Cuban, Spanish influences?
Wow. Well, I learned that we like the same things in jazz. That's a good sign. So we have the same references, but actually it's different because we have a different relations to the audience, to the clubs, to the music itself. Because we have, Swiss people are not the funniest people on earth. Like, it's not about sharing music when we are children. So it's a different relation. And Spain and in Cuba, well, I don't want to generalize, but from what I know, for the people I've met, it's more about the music is more shared than in Switzerland. So in Switzerland, well, personally, I'm more into my head, trying to conceptualize things and thinking about things, and